Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to the NFL Sunday Morning Show right here on the Hardcore Sports Network. We got big news to break down. I'm here with my guy James. It looks like he's having technical difficulties right now. It's all good. It's all good. Oh my God, what a night last night. How you doing, man?
Oh man, I'm good. Just had to switch some laundry over before I started
Yeah,
up.
your audio is like in and out. It sounds like a robot.
Oh god. Uh,
All good. Take your time, man. Take your time.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm
let
gonna
me
put you back
jump
here
out and
so
I'll
you can
jump back
fix
in.
it. All right, he'll be right back. He'll be right back. But it's gonna bother me. Holy shit! Might as well just get right into it, shall we, guys? Let's just get right into it. Wait, we're gonna go like this. Yo,
How about now? How we sound?
nah,
It's
still
bad.
not. It's all good, man. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. Oh my god. Where is it? There we go. Uh, so Deebo Samuel, he gets traded. Deebo Samuel gets traded to the Washington Commanders for a fifth round pick. For a fifth round pick. I am not shocked that he got traded. I am not shocked that he's on the Commanders. I'm just shocked at what the Commanders gave up. The Commanders gave up a fifth round pick. A fifth round pick for arguably one of the best wide receivers in the league today. A fifth round pick. Bro. Bro. You're telling me any team could have just got Deebo for a fifth? The Giants were looking at him. The Steelers were looking at him. Everybody wanted. I mean, Deebo Samuel was on everyone's radar. And the Commanders have swooped in another weapon for Jaden Daniels, and it's now said and done. It is now official. Deebo Samuel is a Commander, but can he get through the Philadelphia Eagles? Can they get through the Philadelphia Eagles? We gotta wait and see. But first, guys, make sure you guys hit the like, hit that sub, hit that notification bell right here on the Hardcore Sports Network. What is up, Coach Ed? How's it going, man? How's it going? Glad you're feeling better. Bro, bro. I said the same thing. A freaking fifth? A fifth round pick. I was down here. I was getting ready for my live stream for wrestling. And I get an alert. Let's see this. Yo,
Trying some headphones now. How do we sound?
better. You're
All
good.
right. All
You're
right, cool.
good. You're good, man. How you doing?
Oh, a lot better now. Sorry, jumping straight from the other show into this one, and didn't even know I had any audio issues going on.
All good, man. So give us your thoughts about the Deebo Samuel going to the Commanders for a fifth round pick.
I think that's a steal for the Commanders, man. What an asset! What a versatile player. How would you not want him on the team? My biggest issue with this whole trade is why
Yeah.
didn't the Steelers do it?
I
Well,
just said the same thing like 5 minutes ago. Five
yeah,
minutes ago.
yeah.
The Steelers, the Giants, the Jets, anybody for a fifth round pick.
Yeah, yeah. Why in the world you don't jump all over that for a quality receiver like Deebo Samuel? I have no idea. So a very shrewd move for the Washington Commanders. I think that's a great move. If you're trying to keep up with the Joneses and add weapons in a situation where your biggest competition just won the Super Bowl, you got to add guys like this. The Eagles go out a couple of years ago and add A.J. Brown, and it takes them to the next level. Deebo Samuel is a huge move for Washington in trying to keep up with the arms race that is the NFC East over there.
Yeah. Uh, I'm just like a fifth round pick to the Commanders who we just destroyed in the NFC Championship game. Well, you gotta beat the best team in the league now. So
Yep.
the one thing I'm getting at is why just for a fifth? Just why? Like, were the
Money.
49ers that upset with Deebo always getting into drama, him getting injured? That had to be it, right?
I think it's a money thing. They're trying to sign Brock Purdy to a long deal, and you probably have to clear
Uh,
some cap space. I would assume that Purdy's probably going to command a good $40 to $50 million a year because that's what top quarterbacks go for these days. And Deebo was on the books for I want to say in that 15 to 20 million range. You're probably just trying to free up some cap space so you can make it easier to sign Brock Purdy.
that that makes sense. I forgot all about Brock Purdy. They wanted to give him an extension, and I'm just like, you get Deebo for a fifth.
Highway robbery, man. Highway robbery. I think it's a beautiful move for Washington. If you got the cap space to do it, why in the world would you not do it? I think that's a high quality number 2 wide receiver.
Yeah, and Brandon Ayuk gets on a trade block too, right?
I think did he get a franchise and that was it last year? So he's just on a 1 year franchise deal.
It had to have been something. Had to have been something, dude. So the Niners are going in a completely different direction here. Different direction. George Kittle, on the other hand, they're gonna keep him. It looks like he's gonna be the number one.
Yeah, I mean you can't get rid of Kittle, right? That's when you have an elite tight end, you have to hang on to that guy because it's the quarterback safety blanket. They're so versatile. They're such dangerous weapons, and I wouldn't move on from Kittle until he's slowed down so bad that he doesn't have anything left in the tank.
Yeah, Kittle's arguably the top two, top three, top five tight end. Tight end, and looks like they're just gonna go through him now. And the Commanders, it's just like it makes him a valuable threat. And I'm like, Eagles fans wanted Samuel to be the slot. Can you imagine if the Eagles got him for like a fifth?
People be trying to figure out is it your running back room or your wide receiver room because that's some built dudes, man. That's Deebo Samuel and AJ Brown are both two of the thicker wide receivers out there, and neither one of them lacking for speed either.
Yeah. I it just baffled me. Like really, it does. They're just like a fifth. What other teams were looking at them? I knew you guys were. I knew the Jets were. The Giants. There had to be another team, right?
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure there were multiple. I don't know how many there was that were looking at them, but it should have been a lot of people.
The biggest domino falls. Biggest domino fall. The next one, in my opinion, is going to be Aaron Rodgers. Where is Aaron Rodgers going to go, you think? He's not going to stay with the Jets, I think. I think he's going to go to
Yeah,
New York. I think he's going to the
yeah.
Giants.
I think that's probably a good move for him because he can go there and probably control the situation. And that's always been a big thing for Aaron. He wants to have control on what's going on around him. He wants to have say in what teammates are brought in, what they're going to do on offense. And there's only so many places you can go to get that. So I think you're right that the Giants are probably a good fit for him. Um, I know I don't want him in Pittsburgh. I think he's too many problems and he's way past his prime. So I'm kind of out on that. Good morning, Wes.
Yeah, how's it going, Wesley? How's it going? For me, I think Rodgers is just hanging up, dude. I just think he just put it, hang up the cleats and just go the Tom Brady route, maybe broadcasting, like do all that stuff. And I just I'm tired of seeing him on my TV. Honestly, I am honestly tired. And this means Devontae Adams is a free agent as well. Is he going to go with Aaron Rodgers? Let's say Rodgers goes to the Giants. Is Devontae going to go with him?
I mean, that's exactly why you would want to sign Aaron Rodgers, I would think. That would be the most appealing thing as a Pittsburgh Steeler fan. If you told me that I could get Devontae Adams by signing Aaron Rodgers, now I'm considering it.
Yeah.
As to where Aaron Rodgers by himself, I'm not interested in. So yeah, I think the package deal of being able to get Devontae also should be a lot more appealing than just Aaron Rodgers by himself because I think Devontae still got a little bit left in the tank. So you could still get a few more years of good play out of him, good to great play almost even. And I don't know. A lot of teams could use the talent that Devontae Adams is. Whether he would be your number one or your number two, I think he upgrades most wide receiver rooms right away.
Yeah. How old is Devontae again? He's got to be
Oh,
like
I
what?
want to say he's getting to right around 30. I don't know offhand, but I can find it pretty quick.
I got it. Thank God for Google. 32.
Right?
He's only 32. I thought he was
Oh,
like
okay.
33, 34. I thought he
Yeah.
was up there. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No, I mean, can you imagine him mentoring Malik Neighbors? Whew,
Oh, man.
that'd be great, but the Giants need a lot. So, shout out to the Passion App Sports Show, who's live on the Hardcore Sports Network every Saturday morning at 9. They were talking about Shedeur Sanders, and their guest, Mike Lauro, called him a bust. Since he wasn't a big fan of him reading the field, his throwing accuracy and stuff. I know you deep dive into this, and I want to get your opinion on Shedeur Sanders right now. What do you think of him? Is he going to be good going forward?
I think Shedeur is probably going to take a little bit of time, and that's why he passed on going pro last year because the quality of other quarterbacks coming out last year was so high that he knew he was going to be a second or third round pick if he came out last year. This year, he seems to be the clear number two quarterback, but it's not because he got drastically better; it's because the competition's that much worse.
Okay.
So a lot of people are looking at this and saying, "Oh, Shedeur Sanders, so he's at least going to be like a really mobile guy." He's not that mobile, which is crazy. That the Sanders kids are nowhere near as athletic as what Dion was. Dion was an elite athlete. His son, the safety, he's like a 4'6", 40 guy, and the quarterback, like the safety Shiloh, he didn't even get invited to the combine. They invite 300 people, and he didn't get a combine invite.
Wait, what? I didn't even
Yeah.
hear that.
Shiloh did not get a combine invite. Now Shedeur obviously did, but he didn't do anything when he went there. He didn't even throw.
Right.
And I think that's a protection move on his part. It's probably really good advice because he's probably going to throw mediocre balls that are semi-accurate. He might not have as deep ball as some of these other guys that are bigger than him. So he's not the rocket arm. He's not super athletic. He's just kind of that. I don't want to call him like a Trent Dilfer, but that's what comes to mind as to where he's going to be a steady Eddie that doesn't turn the ball over a lot and has a high completion percentage. But I don't think he's ever going to wow anyone with his throwing power or his athleticism. It's just not his game.
Yeah. Like, I haven't watched college football. The only team I watch is Michigan. That's my team. So I'm like, screw everyone else. Let's focus on mine. We're champions. I'm good there. So, so they really are saying Cam Ward is leaps and heads above of Shedeur Sanders. Is that accurate? Like leaps and bounds?
Everything I'm hearing is that it's like a 1 and 2. It's not a 1A and 1B. It pretty much everyone has Cam Ward as the number one prospect and expected to go in those top three picks. All three teams could use a quarterback upgrade, and it could happen at any of those spots, really. The comp that I heard for Cam Ward was like a Ben Roethlisberger.
Oh,
where he's a bigger dude, strong arm, has some elusiveness, and a younger Ben Roethlisberger had some athleticism to him as well. We all remember those last years where he could barely move and was limping all over the field. But a young Big Ben is what they're comping Cam Ward to. So, I mean, if it were me, if Pittsburgh were able to drop that high, I'd take him.
yeah.
But yeah, I think Shedeur Sanders is more of like a second or third round talent. I have heard people say that if he did go out in last year's draft, he would have been the 8th or 9th quarterback.
Oh, wow. So shout out to my guy Xavier, who's actually in the network right now. He does the wrestling stuff, and he actually streams NASCAR. So he will be streaming NASCAR today at 3 o'clock. So make sure you guys tune in. Shedeur, in my opinion, isn't that good as people are saying he is, there's a lot of QBs better than him in this draft. I mean, I'm still kind of shocked, honestly, because I didn't watch. Only thing I have to go by is the hype. That's
Yeah.
it. Because I don't watch college football as well as you do and some of these other guys in the network. So I'm just taking everyone's word right now. And wow,
I'll
it's
tell
just
you,
overrated.
the name that's getting a lot of momentum is Jackson Dart. A lot of
Yeah.
people really liking his game, saying he's got a pretty good athleticism to him, a strong arm, a bigger frame. So that's a name that could end up getting drafted before Shador Sanders. That wouldn't surprise a lot of people at this stage.
That's what school is he out of?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't
Uh,
remember, but I can find that one pretty
I
quick
got
too.
it. I got you. Shout out to
I got combine results
Cam
in front of me
Ward,
here.
Jackson Dart, Will Howard. So give me your opinions on Will Howard. I'll look up Jackson Dart with school.
Will Howard is one person will tell you not that impressive, and the next person tells you should go in the second or third round, and he's one of the better quarterbacks in the draft. So what I will tell you is that when the lights were brightest, he played his best.
Yes.
So when it came to that championship run and getting the national trophy for Ohio State, Will Howard was the man, and that's got to say something. There are guys that when the high pressure situations come along, they crumble, and there are guys that's when they're at their best. And it seems to me that Will Howard is at his best in those big high pressure situations, and I think he just didn't have a lot of years as the starting QB there. So it might take him a couple years to really get to that highest end potential, but I think there's definitely some potential there. And he's that size that you're looking for at 6'4", 236. That's a big quarterback and a very appealing thing for a lot of NFL teams, especially like say as a Steelers fan. Watching Russell Wilson not being able to see over his offensive lineman last year was very frustrating. So I do hope that the direction that they take is somebody taller than that.
So speaking of Steelers fans, we got Victor in the chat here. I think Abdul Carter will be the first overall pick. Is that a hot take?
I'm seeing this more and more often, and from a lot of big time NFL insiders too. So I think you're probably right on that. There's a really good chance that he's going to be the number one pick. And he was smart. You know, he went to the combine. He got weighed, and he didn't participate in everything. Apparently, they found a stress reaction. They're calling it in his foot, so probably a stress fracture from training. Penn State guys are just known for putting up incredible numbers on pro days and combines. So I expect him to go to the pro day and really light it up and show uh, just even more so what he's got. But he needs to have a good weigh in. He can't be too light. That's the biggest concern for some folks is that he's not heavy enough.
Mm-hmm. And Xavier comes in. I've had the pleasure of watching him for 4 years at Kansas State, and he was the man. And his one of his year in Ohio State proved why he is one of the best quarterbacks in the draft. F Ohio State. I think I said that right there. I'm a Michigan fan, so I'm just, Will Howard, by the way. I kind of figured.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
me and him were talking football and he mentioned Will Howard, I thought he was talking about the Michigan cornerback. And I'm like, yeah, he's up there. He's one of the top guys. And he was like, no. I'm like, damn. Yeah. So tell me about this Penn State tight end. Is there like something going on? Is he injured or something? What's going on there?
No, he also chose not to participate in anything. So again, it's tough. A lot of guys skipped out this year on specific drills. Usually, what you see is people show up at the combine. They'll cut weight to run faster. They'll do their jumps. They'll run their 40-yard dash and sometimes some agilities. Then they'll go to the pro day and they'll bulk back up and do their bench at the pro day. He didn't do either one, so my guess is he knew what his numbers were going to be. He didn't like them. He wanted to improve on them. So he's just going to train his butt off for the next month or so until his pro day and try to get that extra inch or two on his jumps and try to get that extra tenth of a second or so on his 40-yard dash. I feel like it's very, very calculated with these guys these days, especially someone like him who's expected to be possibly the number one tight end taken in this draft. You don't want to show up and have a slow 40-yard dash or not bench as well as you hoped or something like that, and then have it negatively impact your draft stock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people are saying he's better than Brock Bowers. Is that true? Because Brock Bowers had a hell of a rookie year.
So I think Brock Bowers is a more pure receiving tight end, as to
Ah,
where Tyler Warren is a more all-around guy. So he's a bigger dude. 6'5", 256 is what he weighed in at. So you're getting a much larger frame. Morning shed.
mhm.
And so he's got the blocking capability. He's got more power aspect to his game than what you had out of your other option last year. So also a former quarterback. They used him a lot in like a wildcat type offense and in short yardage, where he'd line up as the quarterback. So he could be a fun weapon for people as far as like any team that wants to do a tush push. You could just slide him over as the quarterback for those plays, and now all of a sudden you got a 255-pound tight end taking the snap who is comfortable under center.
Yeah. So Chad comes in and says that. I'm not saying that.
Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Attaboy,
So
Chad.
I just have a question coming from. I'm an Eagles fan, diehard Eagles fan. So I want to hear you. What's your hard take about the tush push being banned, especially from the Packers requesting
Um,
for it to be banned?
I think that's a Charmin take right there. I think that's soft as it gets. And what you should do is just address your defensive line properly, and then you'll be able to stop it. So if you're having such a large issue in a goal line situation with that kind of play, well, then maybe you need to draft a 340-pound nose tackle and stick them in the middle on those plays, so you have somebody who can stand their ground and not be driven backwards. Maybe your linebackers, instead of being 220-pound coverage guys, need to be some 240, 250-pound guys who can actually push the pile a little bit. So it's reactionary to what the NFL does, right? It's very cyclical. Things change. The last couple of years, it's starting to go a little bit more towards run heavy. And some of these run heavy teams have had tremendous success, with your Eagles and the Baltimore Ravens having a very similar approach to run first, high quality running back, running with power, getting big results out of it. So honestly, it's a great draft class to need a defensive tackle. Green Bay ought to think about going out there and getting their next Gilbert Brown, and then maybe they'll be able to stop the tush push.
You know what's funny about that? It was the Commanders too. I heard that requested for it to be banned
Yeah,
because you just see the Commanders, and then apparently they couldn't stop it at the goal line. Remember, they couldn't stop it
yeah,
at the goal line, and they were doing too many false starts, too many
yes,
penalties, and they were like, "Oh, the Eagles are going to get a free score if you do this again." I'm like,
yeah.
"That's a rule." I'm like, "That's a rule." I'm like, "Hey, I'll take it. I'll
Yeah.
take it." Yeah, and then Chad says, "Mitch, I told Bo I'm gonna get you to one of these days." Well, good luck with that. Well, good luck with that. Good luck with that, Chad. Good luck with that. So yeah, shout out to Bo, man. He's actually on a radio show on Sunday mornings now, so hopefully we can get him back at some point. So he's doing big things, Bo. He was just at the combine as well. He was just there.
Awesome.
He was at the what was the Senior Bowl, the
Yeah.
combine. I think he's going to the draft. Where's the draft this year?
I should know
Oh,
that, and I don't.
I got it. I got it.
Is it
And by
Green
the
Bay,
way,
maybe?
maybe, but by the way, Jackson Dart's on Ole Miss. He went from Ole Miss. And a location. Let's see. Okay, now it's giving me everything. It's giving me every single draft. No, 2025. Lambo, you're right. Green Bay.
Okay.
Take that. Thank you, Vic. Thank you. Yeah, you guys are going to try to make it out to the draft or not this year?
Not
Thank
me.
you. Okay. Yeah.
Next year it's going to be in Pittsburgh, though. I might try to get my butt down there.
Oh, yeah? Because years ago it was in Philly, and I didn't go, but my best friend went. He was there for like the last day, like the
Hmm.
last day because that's where the tickets are the cheapest. And he was like,
Yeah,
"Mitch, I'm still here, sending me pictures and stuff."
that's cool.
Yeah, in Pittsburgh next year. Oh wow, I didn't even know that. So
Yeah.
everyone's gonna be singing that song except for me. That's where I like it. That's where I like it, Chad. That's what I like. Yeah. So yeah, let's see. Deebo goes to the Commanders. Aaron Rodgers is probably gonna go to the Giants. Do you have any other like hot takes where a player could go or something? Because
I
I
think
think Russell Wilson might go to the Raiders.
I've been hearing a lot of that. Yeah, and we ought to be looking at where's Jonathan Allen going to go too, right? A two-time Pro Bowl defensive tackle. He's apparently available for trade. So that's a piece that really could help somebody out, I think, on their defensive front,
Yeah.
especially with all these teams crying about not being able to stop the tush push. Why don't you go get a two-time Pro Bowler and stick him out there?
Isn't that the guy who picked off Josh Allen? Remember Josh Allen throws it to Josh Allen, he took it the other way? Was that him or was that another guy?
I think it's a different one because this is Jonathan Allen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Josh Allen picked off Josh Allen. That was hilarious. Yeah, Green Bay next year. So, any news on your Steelers front? Because for the Eagles right now, we basically have nothing except for a new quarterback coach and
Yeah,
offensive
yeah.
coordinator. So basically nothing over here.
Yeah, not a lot going on. We did get a new secondary coach and a new linebacker coach. The linebacker coach was in Dallas for the last 5 years as their linebacker coach. So
Uh,
a few new pieces there as far as coaching the key communicators, which was a real problem for Pittsburgh down the stretch. There was a lot of guys pointing there, pointing here, pre-snap, and as the ball was snapped, looking like they didn't know where they were supposed to be. So with those
uh,
kind of communication issues, having new coaches at both positions might not be a bad move because there was too many veteran guys for that much miscommunication and that much of people just not knowing where they were supposed to be.
hmm Yeah. So for us, again, we only got I think we got a new coordinator, we got a new passing coach, but other than that, isn't that bro? You keep on showing me that picture every time, and I still don't know who that is. I still don't know who that is. I know that's you, but yeah, there's basically nothing else here. So why don't you tell people what you got going on?
So we're doing NFL draft coverage, a lot of that right now. This morning we recorded a show talking about top performers at defensive tackle, at corner, at running back. A lot of guys really, really blazing their 40-yard dashes this year. And the defensive line looks bigger, stronger, and longer than they've been in a long time. So it's a great year to need any of those positions. And it's about to ramp up in mock draft season. So we're going to start doing mock drafts for the people, probably pretty close to weekly at this stage.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to do mock drafts too, not for my show, maybe for here. We'll do mock
Yeah.
drafts like once in a while, probably a week here, a week there. If anyone from the Hardcore Sports Network wants to come on and do mock drafts, we'll be more than welcome to do that. And I'm still not ready to draft for my Eagles yet. I'm still not there because I've been hearing that the Eagles would trade the 32nd pick and a first rounder next year for Myles Garrett. I'll take that. And a good role player. How do you feel about that? 2 firsts and a role player for Myles Garrett.
I think it's too high. I think it's too high of a price tag, honestly. And I think so, not because obviously the player speaks for himself. He's a top five candidate every year in Defensive Player of the Year. Has never won the sack title, but that's a whole other conversation. But he's an elite pass rusher. But they don't have any leverage right now. That's the thing. He's made it very, very clear he wants nothing to do with being in Cleveland in
Yeah.
future years. So I wouldn't give up that much draft capital for him if I were a team looking to acquire him. I
Yeah.
honestly think it should be probably no higher than a second round pick. Uh,
Ah,
and it's just because, again, he's just not going to show up to camp.
right. He's
So
gonna be
they've got to get rid of him. And I hope people don't overpay and mortgage their future uh, for a guy who's kind of been a locker room cancer for a few years now in Cleveland.
Hmm. And Alexander comes in, who's actually a Cowboys fan. Scary Terry and Deebo Samuel is something.
Yeah,
Can you imagine
absolutely.
if they still had Dotson? Thank you for that, by the way. We got a Super Bowl with Dotson, so thank you. Yeah, and Chad really wants Parsons to become a part of the Steelers. Do you think you guys will get Parsons? I doubt it.
No, no, it's too much money. It's too much money. You already paid Alex Highsmith. TJ is about to get extended any week now. So you can't afford to put Micah Parsons on the books, too. You don't have enough room.
Yeah, and the another player for the Eagles I've been hearing is Crosby from the Raiders. Like most of them want Crosby instead of Garrett, and I'm like, I'll take that, but the Raiders are so are a dumpster fire right now. They can't afford to give up anything.
Yeah,
He's
I've
so
been hearing
good.
a lot about him being moved as well. So I mean, as far as like a team fit, I think Max Crosby would be a great fit for you guys. He's kind of that tough nosed edge dude that keep your nose to the grind, and he performs every year, and you don't ever hear him complaining about it or requesting an easier assignment to get a better stat line or any of that stuff that you get with Miles Garrett.
Yeah, it's something because the Eagles don't really need to get one of these bigger names. They just have to keep their core. They have to
Yeah.
keep Zach Bond and these one out of the top four guys. So I'm like, if we get one of them, perfect. But if we don't, I'm like, perfect. I don't care on who we get. Who I just want to keep Zach Bond. That is still the number one option here. Still the number one option. What is up, Bobby? How's it going? Ain't nobody worried about Washington. Eh, I they had a very, very good run. They're just continuing to build around their franchise quarterback now, and Jaden Daniels. So that's what they did. They added Deebo Samuel. I don't know if they're going to add another running back. They'll probably add an offensive lineman, right? You think they'll probably add another offensive lineman?
That's what I would do now that you got your skill guys kind of secured. I don't know if they're in need of a tight end or not. Maybe that's something that they could address to help out the offense. But I think they should definitely be targeting the offensive line to protect Jalen and give him time.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Washington. I think they have a tough schedule too because the NFC East has tough schedules around. We got 50. Yeah, we did drop 55 points on them. We did, Bobby. Yep. We got 55 points on them. If I were them, they would focus more on the defensive side, honestly.
It sounds
They
like they
need
need
more
it.
work. Huh?
It sounds like they need help on defense for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And I still can't believe that I can believe that they beat the Lions because the Lions were mostly injury prone. They were mostly injured. And then that's how they damaged. But the Lions would still hang in there this whole season despite injury. Can you
Yeah.
imagine if they had Hutchinson back? If they had Hutchinson, it would have been a different ball game.
What do you have? Like 7 sacks in the first 2 or 3 games? It was
Yeah.
crazy the pace that he was on. He probably would have won Defensive Player of the Year if he would have stayed healthy. So that's a game changer for Detroit. If they can actually be healthy this upcoming season, they're really going to give the Eagles a run for their money.
Yeah. What is up, David? How's it going, man? You never know. Washington might get Garrett Wilson. Vince, did you see my last comment? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Right here. Garrett Wilson. I don't know if they would get Garrett Wilson, though. Honestly, they just got Deebo. They just got Deebo. Why would they need get Garrett Wilson? They just got their not cornerstone, but one of the best wide receivers in the league right now. And
Yeah.
guys, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to Steelers by the Lake podcast. There's a link. He's 9. You guys are now 9 away from 100. I just saw that. So
Yeah.
get him
Yeah. I
over
got a
to
nice bump.
100. Yeah,
A nice bump
John.
from last week's show. I appreciate it.
Of course, man. Of course. John Cena, the heel of the year. Do you watch wrestling at all or no?
I used to, so I'm obviously very familiar with who John Cena is.
Well, yeah, he just turned heel last night. I was like
Oof.
losing my mind. I hope the Lions team is a bigger threat to us than what I completely agree. I completely agree. The Washington Commanders just got hot at the right time. That's it. They just got hot at the right time. If the Lions were completely healthy, it would have been more of a better game. More of a Oh man, now people are messaging me about John Cena now. Yeah, guys, we're gonna end it here. Make sure you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell. We'll catch you next week on the NFL Sunday Morning Show. We'll do a mock draft next week. We'll do mock drafts next week. Get that
Sounds
up
good.
and running. Who won the men's teamer? Wow, you're trying to get me to say John Cena's name again. So there you go. Uh, yeah, he is my favorite all time. But we'll catch you guys next week. Have a good rest of your week. Good rest of your Sunday. Peace, guys.